Hey, Shalom, Barakathu Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Chachodash, the ones to the apostles, bishops, elders, the great millstone that rule well. Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting the good fight of faith. And likewise to some of you sisters who truly trust and believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. May he have mercy upon you as well. All right? So I want to talk a little bit about these individuals who are coming to the aid of one of the worst men in Israel, all right? And you men, and whomever else you may be, are coming to the aid of an individual who's been around for a very long time, all right? And you have the audacity to try to call out the men of Great Millstone, all right, for the indiscretions that a man put himself through. All right? So let me get a few scriptures and we go from there. Sirach 11:7. It says, "Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, then rebuke." All right? So let me say this. For all those who are pointing the fingers at Great Millstone for this man, falling as hard as he's fallen, right? Newsflash. When we woke up one morning, as you all people woke up one morning, it was already on the airwaves, if you will. All right? We had nothing to do with the concoction. We had nothing to do with the coming out of. We had nothing to do with the digging of information concerning any of these dudes, man. Again, we found out just the way you people found out. And for some reason or another, it's Great Millstone's fault that this man's his own house turned against him. All right? So as the scripture says, blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Well, what is the truth? That this man put himself in a position along with the men that was under him it's even difficult to really try to express, man. The shit that y'all men was doing and thinking about and pondering and meditating on. This shit is really, it's mind-boggling, man. Mind-blowing. All right? So, you people who have no understanding of the scriptures, all right? You really need to understand and find out who you should be rebuking as opposed to just jumping on all kinds of freaking bandwagons and wanting to point the finger at Great Millstone. Well, we understand and know that as these last days, you men are going to come up against us, all right? We know this. But to try to come to the defense of a man who's been around for 15, 16 years and should know better, come on now. Let's roll. Leviticus 20:13, right? Check it out. If a man also lieth with mankind, as if he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Right? So now, this scripture is probably one of the first few scriptures you learn about. Right? And as you learn about this scripture, you kind of understand and you have the ability to put it into perspective, which is very easy to do. Right? One man dealing with another man, and the primary thing that these men would come together to do was to plunge one another. All right? So this is no different. This is no different from buying some type of apparatus, giving it to your woman with the thoughts of having this thing enter inside of you. All right? There's no difference, man. There's no difference. And if a man is walking around with those type of thoughts, abominable thoughts, as the scripture says, surely, right? Surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. This is the same thing. Again, just because, a female is involved and, it may be some type of equipment that is added, the result is still the same. It was not meant for these two individuals to come together in this fashion, the way that we have been told and warned of. All right? But you have to understand the truth first and then rebuke. But we see that you people are all of the world, every last one of you. And as the scripture says, the world loves its own. These men over there, they're not men of the Lord. They're not servants of the Lord. They're not messengers of the Lord. Not with these wicked ass thoughts and actions. All right? The whole damn camp is tainted. And this is why the Lord's breaking them down, man. Sizing them up and breaking them down. Let's continue on. All right? Because you want to save and forgive a man who blatantly knew right from wrong in this matter. Clearly. Because we've been told about it. Right? Now, let me say this. And I said this in the class we had. Now, if the man had came forward before any of this has happened, anything went down, if he had came forward and said, hey, listen, I was fucking around, I fucked up, I was wrong, I want to confess my faults, and, Lord willing, brothers, see that, you forgive me if I, let anybody astray or put somebody in a position where they may have been confused about whether or not this is lawful to do, then maybe, just a slight maybe, you can be like, all right, well, the man came forward, he broke it down, he let the people know, but that wasn't the case, man. This was not the case. Now, if his woman never disclosed this shit to this other dude's woman, and they came together and with this big, elaborate, exposure, if you will, you think brothers would be talking about this right now? Absolutely not. It would have been on to the next podcast for him, and we still would have been prophesying about the downfall and the gloom and doom of America, Babylon the Great. All right? So again, when we heard it, y'all heard it. So don't sit there and come on brothers' pages and make comments, making extra videos, talking about this is Great Millstone's fault, this is their doing. When this man, who's been around for 17, 18 years, all right, has even used these scriptures in the affirmative to cut people down, to break people down. All right? It's awful, man. It's an awful thought to even think of, that a man would take the time to go and purchase something that he knew damn well was an abomination, was wrong. Romans 1:27, and it says, and likewise also the man, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly. All right? So when you have a woman who is using certain things certain parts of the anatomy of a man on you. That is exactly what this scripture is saying. Men with men working that which is unseemly, because the end goal is to use those tools, those appendages, as a means of penetration. And it says, in receiving in themselves the recompense of their error which was met. So again, in the error, it says in receiving in themselves that recompense of their error. All right, not Great Millstone's error, not the apostles' error, not the brothers in Great Millstone, the affiliate brothers of Great. It's not our error. All right, we as men of the Lord and as watchmen defending the gospel, this is what we do. All right? So let's get it straight now. Let's get it right. A bunch of demons, the whole lot of y'all, a bunch of demons. And this is why we understand and know that this is Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? This is truly the spirit and the actual reality of Sodom and Gomorrah. Those same spirits are right back on this planet doing the same thing, man. Doing the very same thing. And I don't know who put it up, but I just watched a video a few minutes ago where these two, Laurel and Hardy, were talking about, there's sexual deviances in the camps that they don't even know about. And they confirming one another, yeah, you're right. When they're doing the very same thing, man. It's crazy, man. Madness. Total madness. Let me get my glasses on. This is Hebrews 10 and 26. It says, for if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth. All right? When you have received the knowledge of the truth, everything that you've learned, the scriptures that you would use, the people that you would confront, and the things that would be said concerning, this LGBTQ stuff, it's all the same shit, man. But now, you men decide to do certain things willfully. You have willfully done these things. It wasn't by a mistake. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't something you didn't know about. Like, for example, if you go out and buy a sandwich, some sandwich shop, and you think you buying a steak and cheese, but you don't know that the fucking the steak and cheese meat is got ground pieces of pork in there. Some of the products you buy, you may say, oh, turkey sausages, but you flip it over, contains pork. And even with that, you really can't use that because you gotta read all the ingredients that's in the shit that you putting in your mouth nowadays. But you brothers get the gist of what I'm trying to say. This was no mistake. This wasn't no accident. This wasn't something somebody has done unbeknownst to you. You men willfully have done these things, man. So read it from the top. For if we sin willfully, after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. All right? So again, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has set things up the way he sets it up for a reason. And are we totally surprised? No, we can't be, because the scriptures tell you that man's goings are of the Lord. It was just an allotted and an appointed time that had to be met before the Lord brought this exposure out. Okay? But the point of the matter I'm trying to make here is that you individuals out there who are consistently coming up against the men of Great Millstone, when you got a man or men clearly in the wrong for the shit that they have done. But y'all love to have it so. You rather put darkness for light. Okay? Proverbs 14:12. I'm going to end it with this one here. It says, there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Right? You see, you men thought everything it felt right. You know, you was in your bedchamber. No one's gonna know. And who would have ever thought that your own woman will put you on Front Street, man? So clearly, it wasn't sitting right in her spirit. Because if it was sitting right in her spirit, she wouldn't have divulged this information to that other woman. Awful, man. Just totally awful, man. Right? So, just because you may think something's right in your eyes, the Lord sees otherwise. So with that, I'm going to end it there. And for you scoffers, you scorners, you unlearned individuals, men who are trying to post scriptures in their shows and their video, you have no idea what you're dealing with, man. This ain't no goddamn, worldly, podcast or worldly street ministry where, we just we just fly by night. All right. And as the Lord starts to open up more doors and whoops more ass, you're going to know and understand that this is the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that reigneth in this wicked ass kingdom, man. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.